good morning everybody. Now, you're probably wondering why we're downstairs in my workshop. Well, there's two reasons for that. Firstly, it's absolutely lashing it down with rain out there, and I ain't going detecting in that. The other reason is, a friend of mine called Andrew from the metal detecting channel called Terra Englandia. If you haven't watched it already, give it a watch. It's a good channel, nice man. Well, Andrew was asking me how I go about mounting and displaying some of the things I find while I'm out metal detecting. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Oh, and while we're on the subject of metal detecting channels, if you haven't already watched it, have a look at a channel called Gold Digger Dave. Nice bloke, collects some very nice gold coins and does a bit of metal detecting. Nice bloke, give it a watch. Anyway, back to the frames. A lot of people spend a fortune on displaying the finds in cases, frames and whatever. Well, I don't, mainly because firstly I like making things, and I like recycling as well. A lot of the stuff that I get from charity shops. Not because I'm a tight Yorkshireman, although there's nothing wrong with saving a bit of money. I just like to help charity shops, that's all. Anyway, let's briefly go through what you're going to need to do the job. It's a bit like watching Blue Peter, isn't it? Get down, Shep. Anyway, yeah. Right. You may or may not need some glue, water-based glue, Pritt stick, that kind of thing. Other brands are available. Double-sided sticky pads, either on the sheet or on the roll. Tape measure, Stanley knife. You might need some wax, that's up to you. Possibly some brown shoe polish, I'll explain that in a bit. Tape, I prefer this stuff, it's silver foil tape, or you can use duct tape, doesn't really matter which. Wood glue. Hot glue gun, you may or may not need. That one was from the pound shop, bargain. Pencil, that kind of thing. Now, the kind of frames that I use, well, it all depends on what's available in the charity shops. Ideally, you want to be looking for these. These are what they call decoupage frames. They are already built up on the back to give the depth. They're the kind of frames that you see those lovely pictures in, that have got layer after layer after layer to give them that 3D effect, which is why they need such deep frames. But the decoupage frames are very handy because the job's practically done for you, but I don't come across them that often. But they do come in handy when you're mounting larger finds like spindle whorls and things like that, because you need the extra depth. The larger finds like the spindle whorls, you can't fasten them on with the double-sided tape, you've got to use the hot glue gun. It doesn't damage the artifact at all, but it really holds them in place well. So that's the decoupage frames. Mainly the frames that I buy are just ones like these, ordinary picture frames. But obviously they haven't got the depth at the back to mount your coins in or whatever. So what you've got to do, depending on what it is that you're mounting, you've got to build the back up yourself. This is just a piece of 15 by 15 millimeter wood. The size of the wood depends on what you're actually going to mount in the frame. Obviously the bigger the artifact, the deeper it needs to be. And basically all you do is you cut the wood to fit around the frame on the inside like that. Doesn't have to go right to the end, just round the inside of the frame like that. Cut it 4 pieces to go all the way around, and then before you actually glue the wood onto the frame, it's a good idea to stain the wood first. Now I've tried various things, but I find that one of the best things is just ordinary brown shoe polish. You might have to give the wood 2 or 3 coats, but it does work quite well. So that's what the shoe polish was for. So as I say, glue the wood round the edges after you've stained the inside edge of the wood. So that's how you build the frames up. And here's one I prepared earlier. Blue Peter again. As you can see, I've stained the inside like that, roughly to match the outside of the frame. Now, if the frame's got those little pegs in that you can bend over, that's fine. But if it's got staples in that you've had to pull out, you've got to hold the glass in place. And what I use are very, very tiny little blobs of mastic, clear mastic. But make sure that you use the smallest amount possible, because if you don't, when you put the glass in, it squeezes out onto the underside of the glass and it's a nightmare to get off. So fasten the glass in with mastic if you haven't got those little folded down bits. Now, with some frames you get one of these nice cardboard cut out frame things, and if you don't get one, you don't get one, but if you do, you can actually put that back in the frame like so and get it in, and then you can use the little peggy things, if you've got little peggy things, just to fasten it down like that. As I say, if it hasn't got the little peggy things in, then you'll have to hold the card into place with a little blob of glue, something like that. But be sparing with the glue, because if you don't, you'll make a right mess of it. So that's that. So that's the frame that I bought. That only cost £1. Glass glued in if you've got to glue it in, card glued in if you've got to glue it in. Job's a good one. So then, what I do after that is, if you've already got some really nice strong mounting card, you can use that. Cut a piece that fits the whole of that area there, and then using the double-sided sticky pads or the roll, whichever you want to use, depends on the size of the coin or whatever it is you're sticking down. I mean, some of the coins on here, they're too small to use the pads, so what I've done, I've just cut them in half or even into quarters. I've just got a piece of fairly strong card and I've glued it just to the back of an ordinary piece of cardboard that I got from a cardboard box, because I've run out of mounting card. But this'll do the job just as well. So get your double-sided tape stuff, whichever one you want to use. Lay your coins out first so you know exactly where you want them to go. I mean, obviously some of these coins I haven't dug up. The odd one that I've dug up is that American one, the French one. The others just came from, well, I think I found them in a drawer somewhere. But anyway, once that's done, then just turn it over, pop it in the back like that. Just try and get it nice and equal all the way around, and this is where the tape comes in handy. And here's some that I prepared earlier, the silver foil tape. All you do is pop it on there like that, and another piece on there like that. Same again just there. It's up to you how much tape you want to use. I mean, you can go right round the edge if you want, it's up to you, but there's no point really, as long as you hold it securely in place. That like that, onto the edge, and lo and behold, we have a lovely selection of coins in a very nice frame. How much did it cost? Maybe £1.50, and that includes everything all put together. So as I say, it just shows you don't have to spend a fortune doing this, and the results, personally speaking, I think the results are absolutely fantastic. Then obviously all you need is a couple little screw things to put your string across to hang it, and then job's a good one, and you can put it wherever you want. As I say, the frames came from the charity shop. wood glue I'd already got, shoe polish already got, can't remember where I got the wax from. The wax is alright, but it doesn't give us deeper colour as the shoe polish, but there you go. As I said, glue, tape, measure, Stanley knife, that kind of thing. So anyway, that is how I mount and display the large majority of my finds. As I said, the larger finds like horse brasses, things like that, you will have to use the hot glue gun, because obviously, especially things like horse brasses, because they're perforated, you can see through them. You can't use these because you'd see this sticky tape on the other side of the artifact, and that's why you've got to use the hot glue gun. Anyway, my good friends, I hope that's been helpful. I think I've pretty much covered everything, so I think we'll leave it at that. But just before I go, I just want to mention that I will be making another one of these videos just before Christmas, because I want to show you how to make an Advent candle holder out of wire coat hangers, tinsel with real candles on the end, just so that you can have your very own fire hazard in the house. Anyway, I used to watch Blue Peter all the time, and he used to make this thing and hanged up his house. He said, it's got real candles on it. He set bloody house on fire. Anyway, that's it for today, boys and girls. Hopefully next time you see me, I'll be out metal detecting, and we might even find some of this stuff. We'll not find a big copper coin like that. That coin there, the big copper one, was sent to me by, well, originally it was Al from Oldies and Goodies, but they banned his channel because he was swearing too much. And then he started another channel called, I think it was Vintage of Yesterday, and he was building that up quite nicely. And I clicked on it the other day and they've kicked him off that one, and also what he's done I don't know, but he's gone again. Alright everybody, well, thanks ever so much for watching, and I hope it was of some interest to some of you anyway. So, as I say, hopefully the next time you see me, we'll be out there doing some digging. Okie dokie, I'll see you all later, bye bye.